interested in creating a boho style living room in your home, you're in the right place because today that's exactly what we're going to talk about. I'm Nikki D, and I'm your go-to resource for design inspiration, furniture, and decor to make your home look like you hired a designer. Only you're going to do the work yourself. Shh, it's going to be our secret, and I'm fully confident that you can do it. You just need the tools, and that's what we're going to give you today. So if you are looking to create a bohemian style living room, that's exactly what you're going to learn to do. Before we start, make sure that you like and subscribe so that you get the bell notification for any future videos, and leave a comment below and let me know if this was helpful and what you're looking for next. So let's get right into it. The Bohemian style living room is for the carefree, free-spirited individual. Think of Anthropology, Urban Outfitters, that type of vibe, where it's very colorful, very fun, vibrant, full of life, has global influences. So it's going to be traveled. Well, like if you love to travel, this is the perfect design style for you because you can incorporate the look from your travels, the colorful decor, and you can really build your room around that look. So we're going to go through some of the different tips to create your bohemian living room. One of the most important things that you want to start off with is a neutral color palette. And the reason why you want to start with a neutral color palette is because it's your foundation and it lays the ground for what you're going to create and layer on top of that. So you can see in this living room space, which was a design created, it has a lot of texture, it has a lot of pattern, a lot of color, a lot of greenery. Those are all details that are part of the boho or boho navy and living room style. Now, the thing that you want to do is start with neutral. So you can see the sofa has the ivory fabric, we have a leather accent chair, but then our accents and our decor has a lot of color and pattern and texture to it. So that's where the interest is going to come in and where you're going to be able to really add style and your personality. But by keeping the base neutral, if you change out the area rug and then change out the pillows and decor, which is all relatively inexpensive compared to the cost of a sofa or your accent chair, you can totally change the look of that space just by changing out those elements. That's why I say to start with a neutral color palette and neutral colors. So as we go through, we're going to look at the different spaces and then I'll talk through some of the actions. So when it comes to designing, you want to layer textures for a boho space. You want to use plush rugs. You want to use layered rugs. So you might have a jute rug or a sisal rug underneath an oriental rug, for example. You'll see images of that. And then you want to have cozy throw pillows. You want to have macrame, greenery, super important. You want to mix and match patterns. So we saw in the image above the mixing and the matching of the patterns, but the important thing to mixing and matching your patterns is to stick with a color palette. So you want to pull your colors from an element. So in this space, we have the area rug where the pillows, the pinks and the yellows are pulled out into our throw pillows. So everything is tied together. You might pull a piece of artwork and use that as your jumping off point. Anything that has a lot of color that you can then pull out other colors to throw and balance around in your space. So mixing and matching of patterns is super important. Bringing nature in. So you want to add elements of nature. So this is a blog post, which I'll link below so that you have access to it. But there are many different images and rooms in this blog post that goes through everything that I'm speaking about. Has all the colors, has all the fabrics, the sofa styles. So this is another example of how we can bring nature in. You can see that there are just loads of plants on the fireplace mantle, in the background, next to the window, next to the sofa, just a ton of greenery. That is super important in creating that boho or bohemian style. You want to mix and incorporate vintage pieces. So vintage finds combined with styles that you might find in West Elm or Anthropology or Urban Outfitters, and you can mix and match those pieces together. So look at your local flea markets or your thrift stores for different vintage pieces that you can bring into your space and they'll add character. As long as you stick with the same color palette, you'll be able to tie all those elements together. The next thing that you want to do is create cozy spaces. So create a cozy corner. So this might be next to the window. This might be in an empty corner of a room, but you want to create intimate moments where you might have an accent chair with a table lamp and a side table next to it. You can see this style is all about color. So you either have the neutral base or you have a really eclectic look with a lot of color. These are different examples of the boho style. Again, there's no right or wrong. It just is what you gravitate towards and what a space that you feel like you want to live in. So if any of these images resonate with you and you think, oh, I would love to live in that space, that's the style and the look that you should work your room around. Jewel tones are very popular in this style as well. So you can see here you have the rich green jewel tone in the sofa, velvet fabrics, layering coffee tables. So you can see the nesting coffee tables, wood tones, mixing of different materials. So you might have a marble and a wood table mixed together, layering of pillows and throws. Baskets in very textural fabric are going to be very popular in this design style. Here are some of the different furniture pieces that you might have. And again, you'll see that we have the mix of the fabric with the wooden base on the sofa style. We have a coffee table that has marble and gold. Gold accents are also popular in the Bohemian style. And rattan, wicker, leather armchairs, anything that's going to have that weathered outdoor bringing in. So think of your greenery, bringing that in. Think of your rattan and your wicker, leather, bringing those elements in, all from the outside, bringing them indoors. So those are a great way. Again, tufting, vintage pieces, so sofas that have tufting detail. You might have your coffee table that has the inlay detail mixed with the wood, multiple patterns. You can see there's patterns in the throw, there's patterns in the pillow, pattern in the rug, just multiple patterns. Greenery, adding gallery walls. You can see in this space the basket, layering the rugs, all different elements that are going to add that very vintage and bohemian look. These are different rooms where you have mixing of patterns. Lighting is very important. So layering lighting, you might have sconces with table lamps, with floor lamps, just layering of lighting, not just your overhead lights and calling it a day. It's going to be layering so that you can set the mood and the tone. Having the lighting on dimmer switches is going to be very helpful because you can adjust the intensity of the lighting. So those are all different ways that you can play with this design style, mixing in tapestries and throw blankets, candles, lanterns, all parts of this style. So you can see here some different lighting, the lighting with the beads, the lighting with the rattan or the wicker elements, but everything is going to have an intentional purpose and going to be stylized and unique. So not simple minimalist. That's not what this style is about. It's about layering and having that cozy corner with a throw pillow and a bolster, mixing in wallpaper. So multiple patterns. And again, if you want to experiment and you're not sure that this is the style that you want long term, stick with the neutrals, the classic furniture pieces that maybe have a mid-century or a vintage style, because just by changing out your artwork or your area rug or your throw pillows, you can create a totally different style and look in your home. So again, these are all different visuals, adding in poofs, adding in throw pillows on the floor, mixing of your patterns. You can see from these spaces, greenery, I keep mentioning it because it's very important. Your drapery is going to be another place where you can add fabric and dimension, having baskets or wicker elements on your walls. You can see the layering of the rugs here with the oriental in a lot of colors. A great place to start when you're designing is with an area rug, a piece of artwork, or a pillow to pull the colors out and then just balance it and fuse it around your space. We're going to have terracotta colors, warm jewel tones mixed with neutrals as the base. And when I say the base, our leather fabric is a neutral. Our ivory sofa is a neutral. Our navy or green velvet is a neutral. These are all neutral colors that are timeless and you can change out to get another design style. So that is where we're going to stop. Oh, one more thing. Swing chairs, super important in this design style in the rattan, creating that cozy corner. And then you have your layering of, already mentioned your gallery walls that have style and personality. It might be mixing of different artwork with baskets so that you have texture even on your walls. That is the overview of how you create this style in your room using hanging plants. I hope this was helpful, and I'm going to link the blog post so that you have all of the reference and the details and anything else that we talked about. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and then you'll get the bell notification for future posts. Come back again because we're going to continue to discuss the different design styles and how you can achieve those looks in your home. Have a great day. Happy designing.